Bearcats trying to get to 13-0 against Meyer's squad. Tebow, he went out a winner and then some. His best game as a collegiate ever. First quarter, no score. Gators were the first attempt for Bearcats, 21. Tebow ran for 51 yards in this game. First down, Florida. Later in the drive, Tebow to Aaron Hernandez, who just muscles his way in. Tebow hit his first 12 passes, extra point no good, but the Gators with a 6-0 lead. Second quarter, 9-0 Florida, second and goal from the 7. Tebow to Deontay Thompson. You remember Alabama dared him to throw in the SEC title game, and it worked for Alabama. Didn't work for Cincinnati. Thompson with a great catch, 16-0 Florida. Tebow, pump fake, Hernandez. Now deep in Cincinnati territory, that led to an Emmanuel Moody touchdown, 23-0 Florida. Next possession for the Gators. Tebow up top for his roommate, Riley Cooper. That's good for 80 yards. The Gators outgained Cincinnati 384-55 in the first half. Tebow, 20 of 23, 3 touchdowns and 321 yards in the first half. That's a great game. And that was just the first half. Third quarter, Gators up 37-10. Tebow to Cooper once again. That's good for 44 yards. Puts Tebow over the 400-yard mark. First time he's ever done that. Later in the drive, this is a touchdown in flag football. Tebow's first rushing touchdown of the game, 44-10 Gators. He also set an all-time BCS game record for total yards, 533, breaking Vince Young's record against USC. Fourth quarter, on the option, Tebow to Chris Rainey. They lost Jeff Demps to a forearm injury earlier in the game. The Gators go up 51-17. Tebow passed for 482 yards. Urban Meyer seniors go out as the winningest class in SEC history with 48 victories. Meyer and Tebow, quite a duo with the 2 titles. Meyer 57-10 in his career at Florida, 4-1 in bowl games as the Gators take this one 51-24 over Cincinnati. Tebow may have eased some of the doubts about his prospects as a passer at the next level, but after this game, he's just enjoying this level.
Who gets roses, who gets dandelions? It's the Rose Bowl presented by Citi. Ohio State has never lost to Oregon in 7 previous games, but the Buckeyes have lost their last 3 BCS games. Ducks were favored going in, but you heard our analysts tell you Terrell Pryor was the key Buckeye quarterback playing with a shaky knee. First quarter, 3rd and 6. Pryor, who was nearly picked on his first pass play of the game, picks the left side to run, goes 24 yards. He ran for 72, drive alive. Later in that drive, another 3rd down. That was 3rd and 6. This is 3rd and 10. And Pryor going to find time. Brandon Sane, tightrope walking, touchdown. Ohio State 10 plays, 74 yards, up 7-0. Still in the first. Pryor. Boy, what touch there to Sane. 46-yard game. Here's what happened on that play. He had Sane matched up one-on-one with the defensive end, Kenny Rowe. Kenny Rowe, defensive MVP of this game, but that's a tough matchup for him there. And Pryor with the touch pass. Buckeyes got a field goal. They led 10-0 after the first quarter. Pryor goes 23 of 37, 266 yards. Okay, Masoli, James, and Blunt. Those are your Oregon keys. And here's Blunt. Ruled down at the 1-yard line. Now, I'm sitting next to the former Hawaii quarterback, Redskin quarterback, Colt Brent. He says, hey, he wasn't down. He wasn't down. They got to review that. The officials didn't review it because Colt said so, but they did review it. They overturned it. Touchdown. Oregon ties the game at 10. 2 Ohio State field goals. Made it 16-10 at the half. Now, Masoli faking the handoff, keeps it himself. He scores. Hey, we got Kirk Herbstreit on Masoli's decision-making there.
And Jeremiah Masoli is simply going to watch Cameron Hayward. If Hayward comes down and takes the big back Blunt away, which he does, he pulls the football out. So again, not predetermined. He's just reading Hayward's body language. He came down on Blunt, pulled the ball out, and then again shows how physical he can be running over top of Ryan Roll.
Because Oregon had just brought Blunt in for that play, and Ohio State went with Blunt. Oregon's up 17-16. You follow the Ducks, you say, they've got the momentum, the team's back on the track. Off track right here. After a Buckeye field goal made it 19-17, look at Blunt. Doesn't handle it, then kicks it right out of the back of the end zone. Touchback, Ohio State. Momentum killer right there. And then it's all Pryor, all Ohio State from there on. Third and 13 in the fourth quarter. Jake Ballard pulls this down, and the air came out of Duck Nation right there. Pryor making the plays with his arm and his feet. Really lived up to the hype he's gotten. DeVere Posey, touchdown, 26-17. The Buckeye defense, too big, too strong after that the rest of the way out. And Jim Tressel going to get the bath. And Ohio State Gonna get the Rose Bowl. 26-17, your final. Set a Rose Bowl record for time of possession. 41 minutes, 37 seconds. You do the math. Oregon with the ball just under 19 minutes. Now, Chip Kelly, what a first year he had. After the game, he said time of possession he wasn't worried about. He was worried about Terrell Pryor, a kid he tried to recruit to come to Oregon. And with good reason, because Pryor, clearly the game's offensive MVP.
My teammates on offense, I mean, without the linemen blocking just how well they did today, I mean, it's crazy how well they did, and you won't recognize it. Sometimes it's my fault when they get in because it's a protection, and I have to know who's coming. But they really didn't let anyone get to me today.
I'm happy that I even got the chance to come back to be here with my teammates. You know, Michael's been tremendous throughout the season. My team has forgot about everything that's happened and moved on, and we just continue to move forward from this.
Boy, Pryor was something else to watch in this game. Now, Fiesta Bowl last year lost to Texas. He wasn't much to watch. Just 5 passes, 66 yards. Friday, he sets career highs, 23 completions, 37 attempts, 266 passing yards. The Buckeye said what a leader he was in the huddle, and he also rushed for 72 yards.
His career comes to an end after 44 seasons, leading the Seminoles to their 28th straight bowl appearance, his 33rd overall, and, well, the Chiefs going to have to hand over the spear to Coach Bowden because he's the only guy to stick it in the ground for his final game. What a cool image for Florida State. First quarter, Bowden's team started off slow. West Virginia with the ball in the Florida State 32. There goes Jared Brown for the 32-yard touchdown. And it's 7-0 West Virginia. Later in the first quarter, Noel Devine, he had a big game. This good for 70 yards down to the Florida State 4. He would score 2 plays later. Devine, 16 carries for 168 yards. Average better than 10 yards per carry. Better than 11 yards per carry, actually. Second quarter, same score, Florida. Florida State fighting back to the West Virginia 12. E.J. Manuel to Jermaine Thomas, who punches it in. Jermaine Thomas, 25 carries, 121 yards, and a pair of touchdowns. Bowden digging the game at that point, but Florida State down 14-13. But then Manuel to Jarman Fortson. Great one-handed catch there. Manuel 17-24 for 189 yards with some help from his man Fortson. 29-yard gain down to the West Virginia 26. 2 plays later, Thomas has got it, and he knows what to do with it. 19-yard touchdown, and the Noles on top. Fourth quarter now. Florida State up 2. Manuel. He also ran for 70 yards. Jimbo Fisher is going to take over as head coach. He likes what he sees. Bowden and Mickey Andrews in their final time on the sideline. Coach Bowden goes out 22-10-1 in bowls for his career. Warwick Dunn, Derek Brooks among the former players there to help him celebrate. Florida State wins at 33-21. 33 straight winning seasons for Bobby Bowden.
The Outback Bowl, man. Northwestern has won 1 bowl game in its history. That was the 49 Rose Bowl, beat Cal. They got old Mike Kafka at quarterback. He's got 12 touchdowns, 7 picks this season. Came in with the streak of 116 consecutive passes without a pick. First series, Walter McFadden gets him. Auburn had turned it into a touchdown, 7-0. Still in the first, 3rd and goal. Oh, it's McFadden again. And Stan, look how fast he can run the 100-yard dash.
He was motoring.
So Auburn's up 14-0 after McFadden picks 2 from Kafka. Boy, he was acting like he was Keenum from Houston on Thursday. 3rd quarter. This is the Kafka we recognize. He goes end zone to Andrew Brewer. 35-yard touchdown, 21-14. Kafka's 2nd passing touchdown of the game. 40 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Kafka's looking for Drake Dunsmore, throws it wide to him, and now he's spinning. He was wrapped up by McFadden, but he broke free right. You ain't got me. Well, he's a horse, 66 yards. So in 2 minutes and 15 seconds, we went from 21-7 to 21-21. 4th quarter, Kafka's pass. Oh, no, to Charvin Bell. That's his 2nd pick. Kafka's 5th pick of the game. Remember, the kid had 7 picks this season. Ensuing Auburn drive, Ben Tate, reservations for 6, had 108 yards. Tate to make a 2nd touchdown, make it 35-21. Rob Stone, what are you seeing?
They say tragedy equals comedy. Here's Coach Fitzgerald during the last break. He's yelling at his players, yelling at Kafka. He's going, guys, we've been playing with 10 men all game. We've been playing with 10 men. Our quarterback has been playing for the other team the entire game. The good news, though, we got him for the remaining 10 minutes. We're in good shape, guys.
Everybody funny. Now you funny, too. 2nd and goal, Northwestern down the 2 scores, and Kafka says, hey, Coach, How about this? I'm scoring for our team. So it's 35-27, and then Stefan Demos comes in on the kicks block. So now Coach Chisnick and Auburn have they got an 8-point lead. And Kafka going, what's that going to mean? Is it going to mean something next Auburn possession? Tate fumbles. Northwestern recovers. Wildcats, great field position. They got a 1st and 10 at the 18 now. Kafka, Sidney Stewart, end zone. Northwestern down 2 after Kafka's 4th touchdown pass. We're going to go, Coach Fitzgerald, we're going for 2, of course. Trickery, end around to Brewer. He throws to Brendan Mitchell. He couldn't be more open. Northwestern ties it at 35.
This is about when I woke up.
Ensuing kickoff return. Damon Washington, midfield. And there goes the football. And Northwestern recovers. So we got a little over a minute to go. Northwestern's got the ball. On the 36, Kafka, Brewer. Kafka, bowl game record. That's his 45th completion. He went 47 of 78 in this one. 3 seconds left. Demos, 44 yards. Game-winning field goal. Ah! Wide right. Overtime. Tied at 35. Okay, Auburn kicked the field goal. So now we got 3rd and 1 Northwestern. Kafka, QB sneak. I'll tell you what. This kid gave 2nd, 3rd, and 4th effort there. He gets the 1st down. Very next play. Kafka. He's got Craig Stevens in his grill. And, there goes the football. Recovered by Auburn. Game over. Coach Chisnick and Auburn celebrate, but oh, no. Hold on. The officials review the play, and they say Kafka was down before he lost the ball. Northwestern alive. 2 plays later, it's 3rd and 24. Zeke Markshausen. He had 12 catches, but that's just 10 yards, so it's 4th and 14. So here comes Demos. 37-yard field goal! Oh, no! Off the upright. Auburn wins again. But wait. There's a flag on the play. Remember Tasharvin Bell had the picks? He ran into the kicker. Personal foul. Demos is out. He's injured. He's out of the game. These are like Wildcats with 9 lives. So we got 1st and goal. Kafka pass incomplete. 2nd and goal. Kafka keeps it. And he's going to get a yard. Kafka, career best 532 yards passing. This is 3rd and goal. Nobody's open, and so he picks up 3. So now we got 4th and goal from the 5. Coach Fitz is going to bring in Steve Flaherty, the backup kicker. And then this is... What in the name of the cameraman is going on there? They ran the fumble Ruski, and Markhausen is stopped short of the goal line. Nico Thorpe with the tackle. He was afraid he was the only one who saw it. Coach went for the trick play, said he had it in his back pocket forever. The gamble didn't pay off. Auburn wins 38-35.
LSU, you would think the guys from Louisiana would have the advantage because they played in a swamp.
Today we've had a ton of rain for a couple of hours. This field is a mess. Not only is sod coming out, but there's also huge divots and huge chunks of the field coming up. I talked to head coach Les Miles about it, and he said, hey, it's an equalizer. We both have to deal with it.
The turf was laid 3 weeks ago, but since then they played 5 games on the field, including the Champs Sports Bowl on Tuesday. First quarter, Darrell Clark, his pass dropped by Derek Moy, and Moy has to wipe his hands off on the sideline. That towel doesn't look like it's exactly dry either. Clark finds Moy again, and, well, maybe it was dry. 37-yard touchdown. He didn't drop that one. Clark threw for 216 yards. Penn State up 7-0, but they didn't make the most of their opportunities when they got in the red zone the rest of the day. 2nd and 5 at midfield. Clark fumbles the snap, has to fall on it himself. Take another look at it. Clark said the same thing that everybody else said. Everybody had to play on the same field, so no excuses. 14 seconds to go in the half. Clark knocked down by Brandon Taylor there, led to a field goal. Penn State up 13-3 at the half. Clark has Mickey Schuler open on the flat route. Instead, he throws to Evan Royster, who's covered. Penn State 5 trips to the red zone, and it was just 4 field goals. Later in the third, LSU trailing 16-3. They had done almost nothing on offense. Jordan Jefferson to Brandon LaFell. Jefferson threw for 202 yards. He had to because LSU had just 41 yards on the ground on 25 carries. Here's Jefferson again, avoiding the rush. Finds Terrence Tolliver for 39 yards. Tolliver had a few drops before that one, but he sets up a 1st and goal for LSU. Stephen Ridley had a fumble that led to a Penn State field goal, but he's got a touchdown here, and all of a sudden, the Tigers steal the momentum. They're up 17-16 after the extra point. Later in the 4th, Penn State would answer. 3rd and 3. Clark to Graham Zug. That's good enough for the first down. Same drive, 3rd and 4. Clark gives it up to Stephon Green for a 7-yard gain. Clark said, whatever it takes, we had to keep the chains rolling. 4th and goal, Colin Wagner. His 4th field goal of the day. Penn State up 19-17 with just under a minute to play. LSU making a final push. Jefferson to LaFell for a 4-yard pickup, but LSU not with a whole lot of time. Time management hasn't been their forte this season. They're trying to spike the ball. Loud hit, pulls Navarro Bowman off of LaFell. Personal foul, backs the Tigers up 15 yards. They never recover. Penn State holds on to win it. Clark, the Capital One Bowl MVP, capping off a stellar career.